Hey there, I'm Dr. Dave, and in this episode today, I've got three things that I'm going to recommend that you do to change your life. And the really good news is you only really have to do one of them for full benefit. I'm going to talk to you about this and some more stuff coming up in today's episode of Microdose U. Thanks for being here.
Enter the world of magic mushrooms with Microdose U.
Okay, hey there, welcome back. Dr. Dave here. Appreciate you spending your time with me. As a little payback, the month of June, as I've been saying, Dr. Denise Moret and I are giving $400 off of our tuition, of the investment that it takes to work with us one-on-one and totally change your life. Yeah, $400 off if you sign up and get started during the month of June 2024. So what are you waiting for? Send me an email and tell me you possibly could be interested, and then I'll help you through what has to be done. And my email is always in the show notes. So make sure you check the show notes, because I also have a bunch of other like kind of super important links to help you in your life and beyond. Yeah, so always check the show notes, and remember, there's also a brand new episode that comes out, brand new podcast episode every Wednesday and Friday. And these days, I'm actually doing them on YouTube and audio, such as Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your audio podcast. But I've been putting some episodes out on YouTube, and I think people like the video. People like, maybe, I don't think it's that they like seeing me necessarily, but they're just curious. Hey, what does he look like? Like when he talks, what does he look like? Where is he going to be recording from? Where's his studio? So if you want to check some things out, you can see this exact episode on YouTube video. Both channels both channels are Microdose U. It's Microdose and Microdose and the letter U. And by the way, yeah, if you want to check out our brand new website, it's also the same name, microdoseu.com. And microdose is spelled all out in one word, the letter U, microdoseu.com. Brand new website. Really cool stuff. I'm enjoying helping you guys with, helping my nakama. Yes, yes. So, okay, when I started this episode, I share with you there are three things that I'm going to recommend that you do to really change your life. I'm doing, well, let me think. I'm doing one of them right now. I've been doing one of them since the beginning of this year, nonstop. I'll share with you what it is, but these things are going to change your life mainly in in a good way, but in a cognitive way. So your brain just stays healthy and younger, and you can think more clearly. Um, there's so many benefits. So let's get into the three things that I'm going to recommend. I'll start with the one that I'm in the process of doing, and then I'll give you two more, and then you can take your pick. But I really want you to try one. Life changing. I want you to try one. I want you to promise me that you're going to try one of these. Okay, the very first one is learn a language. Learn a new language. It doesn't matter to me how many languages you speak right now. If you only speak one language, or if you speak 3, 4, 5 languages, I want you to learn a new language. And the reason is because it trains your brain to stay young. So I'm taking Japanese right now. I've been taking Japanese since the beginning of the year. I know a little bit of Japanese because my wife is from Japan. So I kind of kick myself because over the past like 20 years that we've been together, I know some phrases, I know some words. I can't really speak in sentences. Really, I can't like hold a real conversation. And I really truly kick myself because I lost out on 20 years. But as they say, the best time to plant a tree was many years ago, 50 years ago. And but the second best time is now. So if you haven't done this yet, and like I hadn't, but I want to keep my brain. Well, I like to speak Japanese because when I go to Japan with my wife and we visit family and friends, I like to be in the conversation a little bit more than I can be now. So what I found though is learning a new language, especially at my age. Now I know you are all many different ages. We got a large age group, large, variety of ages that listen and follow this show. But I'm on the older side, and it doesn't come easy to me now. Like I remember back when I was in high school and college, and I took French in high school. I took some Spanish in college, and the languages actually came fairly easy. Like I didn't have to study a whole lot. Just listening to the teacher, reading some books, and listening in class got me to speak these languages like reasonable at a reasonable level. Now I've lost it all because it's been many decades since I spoke those languages, but it became like relatively easy. Japanese, now I know there's some disadvantages because when English is your first language and you learn a language like Spanish or French or Italian, one of those languages, um, they come easier because let's face it, the alphabets, the characters are the same. Some of the words are even borrowed, or if you know one of the languages, they're a little bit similar, maybe in the other. So they're kind of like together with almost with English, almost. Japanese is just totally different character sets for the alphabet, totally different sentence structures, the way you construct a sentence. So many differences. It's unbelievable. And I got to tell you something, it's not easy. And I first started off with a teacher online, and I would do once a week, and we'd do a little bit here, a little bit there, but that wasn't really cutting it. So I found another teacher, and this one I really love, and I've decided to kick it up to like 3 times a week. I'm on in the morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with her. She's in Osaka, Japan, and we're doing this. We're doing 3 days a week, and the other days I study and study. And I got to tell you something. I do really feel that it keeps my brain exercised and younger. I really do feel that way. So I'm recommending this is not the first choice, and it's a really good choice because you don't really it's something you can do fairly easily on your time. And I love the idea of, I mean, I've done some online courses, but I love the idea of having like a native Japanese person from, she's in Osaka now. Um, we get on Zoom or a video call, and she teaches me. We have conversations 3 days a week. I love that technique. I love that method. It's a lot more intense, and it's like a real course as opposed to like just signing up for an app on a phone. In fact, I wouldn't. If you're going to learn a language, I would not recommend doing it that way. I would recommend getting a real teacher. So that's my number one. That's your first choice. Number two is I'd like you to take a difficult course that's at least college level. Find a local college, find something online, something you can go to, but like not an easy, not one of those courses that we used to take in college to get an easy A or to easily pass it. No, I'm talking about like a course that you're really going to have to think. And like, for example, I'm just throwing this out there, like organic chemistry was always a course that I loved it, but there was a lot of memorization, a lot of understanding, formulas and things like that, but a lot of memorization too. And then, so I'm talking about, and I'm not saying, if you're not interested in organic chemistry, that's totally fine. But that level, something that's a difficult math course, maybe a difficult, English or a political science course, something that's going to be very tough, something that's not going to be an easy A. Okay, that's your number two choice. Number three choice, and this is a pretty cool one. Like again, I think almost anybody can do this one. Is I want you to learn how to play a musical instrument, and not one that you already know. I want you to learn a musical instrument from scratch. You take your pick. There's no wrong answer. You pick any musical instrument, and I want you to actually take lessons and practice and learn how to play it. Those are three things that if you do just one of them, and I'm not recommending you do all three at one time because that's a lot of work. I mean, I spend practically every day studying Japanese. Now, if I were trying to learn a musical instrument as well, then have to practice, it becomes too stressful. And I don't want to make your life stressful. I want to make your life better. And by better, improving your cognitive function. And by the way, speaking of that, I believe in this, and I take lion's mane capsules every day. Lion's mane. I've been doing it for probably a couple years now. Every day I take lion's mane. It's mushroom. It's totally legal. But what I'll do, I will put the link to the one that I use. I get on Amazon. I'll put the exact link, and if you want to, it's just easy because I've used it for a long time and I know it's good, and I know it's very reasonably priced. I'll give you the link there in the show notes, and if you don't want to use mine, get any lion's mane you want. Just look it up a little bit and just see how people like it. But lion's mane is pretty easy to find. But definitely on Amazon and any kind of like food store that has like healthy sections like a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's. I guess Trader Joe's would have it, or any of the what's the one? There's a one around the corner that I really like. What's it called? I can't remember the name of the store, but it's a real good one, and I think they have them in most cities these days. I wish I could remember it now. I'll try to put that in the show notes so I remember. But you know what I mean. Just find any. You can find lion's mane. You'll find it. Maybe even like the pharmacy and like the vitamin department. Um, they would probably have that. Okay, one of those three. I want you to do it. I promise you, it's going to work your brain out like you've never believed, and it's going to stay young. And combine that with the lion's mane, and if you're microdosing as well, you're going to be a new person pretty soon. I'm loving the way I feel right now. I really am. And my low was about like 3.5, 4 years ago. I'd say maybe 4 years ago. That was like the lowest of lows where I hit just really, really rough spot of my life I was going through. And it was really difficult for me. And this has brought me back to where, not to where I was, but even better to where I was. I just feel really good about myself and about life and about other people every single day now. So again, it's not an overnight fix. Anybody that just thinks they can pop a couple magic mushroom capsules or something and you're going to be better, no, it's not an overnight fix. There is work that goes into it, and that's why I talk about so many things on each of these podcast episodes. But when you put the time into it and do it, your life's going to change. I promise. Okay, till next time. I am Dr. Dave. Please don't forget me, because I'll see you next episode for sure. And in the meantime, just realize that I love you. I got your back. I love you. And we're doing this together. See you later.